This task is an NCEA one, which can lead you up to excellence level. We may only do the achieve part at this stage. We have a quadrilateral ABCD. We've got the vertices, and we're going to find PQRS, the midpoints, and we're going to join them and a new quadrilateral is formed. We have to find what type of quadrilateral it is. So that means that we would have to find the sides of the quadrilateral, see if they are equal. We might have to look at the gradients, and we'll do that bit first, then we'll come to the second bullet point. The first thing, the biggest hint, is to draw a diagram. Draw a big diagram, which we're going to do now. Well, here's my diagram, very rough. I'm asked to find the midpoints of AB, BC, CD, and AD. And I'm going to call them P, Q, R, and S. So I'm going to do the midpoints. Remember, for the midpoints, we need to add. So I'll do the first one reasonably slowly. So if I want the midpoint of AB, and I record what I'm doing at each step, set your work out clearly. So we add our x values, which is going to be 0 plus 1 over 2, and then add our y values, 4 plus 0 over 2. That gives me the midpoint of 1/2 and 2. So do that for each of these values. So here I've worked out P, Q, R, and S, and that gives me my quadrilateral. Now we're just looking at the quadrilateral, so I'm going to rub these other lines out to make sure that we can see it clearly, because we're now just working with P, Q, R, S. And it looks pretty much like it's a parallelogram. So I'm going to have to check the lengths of the sides as well as the gradients. I'm going to see if they're equal. So I'm going to use my distance formula from P to Q. So the distance would be the square root. Now I'm going to go from P to Q. So I do my P and Q. Remember, distance we have to subtract. So I'm going to go 3 minus 1/2 squared plus 2, 3.5 minus 2 squared. So I put that in and I see what I get. And that will be the distance from PQ. I'm going to compare it with the distance from RS. Now I haven't done this very clearly. I want the distance from PQ. So I should write distance from PQ equals, I find out what it is, then underneath that I'm going to do the distance from RS. If they are the same, I know I've got a quadrilateral. So I'm going to stop and work that out